Hey, it's just so trash. Still got a little bit of sleep in my eye at 6:30 in the morning. But all is quiet. So I kind of like videoing it this time, if you don't mind. Isn't it nice? Let's just enjoy the quietness. Anyway, I am peppy this early in the morning. Actually, I've been trying to get out of bed for the last 20 minutes, but the baby was like, no. So finally I'm like, okay. But, I got even more motivated. I felt so bad. So it's 6:30 in the morning here. And I'm like, what in the world's that flashing light outside? It is the school bus. 6:30 in the morning. Those poor children have got to be dressed, ready on a bus. My stomach's not even awake at 6:30 to eat. And these poor kids have got to be in the bus. Child abuse. Anyway, we're on week 8. I don't know. I'm like, really? Now, of course, we're not where I thought we would be in all the little books. And that just figured. But we're on week 8, so that works out well. So that means next week is week 9, which would be the last week of the first quarter. And that is awesome. Hold on. She wasn't going to do it. She wasn't going to go back to sleep. Look at her. She's like, you're supposed to go back to sleep. She wasn't going to do it. She knows it. There is a grin. Okay. So I think at the end for next week, I'm going to do a little summary of like where we got to and what I kind of expected us to get to by now that we didn't. And I'm going to do that next week because there's just a lot of times that you have expectations and they're, even though they seem reasonable, one lesson every day, they're not. And it can feel like we're not getting enough done. But you know, me and my husband were talking about it. I said, here's what I know. They will start their schoolwork, say 9 a.m. and they'll go to 4 o'clock some days or 5 o'clock. And they don't get it all done. But when it comes down to it, they've done more than their counterparts that are going off on the big yellow bus at 6:30 in the morning. So in the end, I know that they're working hard, they're working well, and that's okay. So I am losing my awesomeness, but I don't even care. And in fact, they like ripped off the tape last week. They like sat there and picked at it until it came off. But that Dollar Tree, like paper tape, doesn't work that well. I want to get the Dollar Tree. I went to Dollar Tree, but I want to get, they came out with the fall washi tape. Not the Halloween one. I don't do Halloween. But they came out with the fall washi tape, and I want that. So, until then. But anyway, anywho. One of the things I'm running into is my daughter's having a hard time. We had a little out with my daughter, and it was kind of my fault. So Katie, my 5th grader, math is just not fun for her. It's a job. So she'd gotten a new book. Well, I got her like 307. I let her test out of 307, then we start 308. Well, Tuesday was 308. She didn't do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Isn't that cute? That's how I wake up. I have not brushed it. Work at all. She didn't do it. And I'm like, why didn't you do it? She's like, well, I couldn't find it. I go, it's Sunday afternoon and now you tell me since Tuesday you couldn't find your book? Oh, I forgot. So we're tearing the house. I'm like, how could it be gone? And then a little part of me said, I better go out to the schoolhouse because I got all their extra, I got like the rest of the year's work kind of being stored. I got to still take care of that whole shelf. But, you know, I moved stuff out there. And I go out, I'm like, let me go out there and check. It was there. I never brought it in. Bad mom. So I came back. I apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I never brought it back. But at the same time, it's kind of your responsibility to be on me if you don't have your work. And not, I forgot, for like 4 days, 6 days. And I mean, that was kind of, I don't know. So, you know, it's my fault. But it was kind of her fault, too. Because I'm like, you need to take your responsibility on this. And it's funny, too, because last week, I had to go and help my mom. And that was a long, emotional day. But I had to help my mom. So I actually left her with a neighbor who homeschools. And they use the same curriculum. Score. Talk about convenience. And she got almost everything done. But failed to mention that I didn't have my math book. I think she did mention it. But it was like very like, oh, and my pencil broke. Okay. You know. And yeah, tell me when I pick you up. But it's not till we're home and still my brain's like, what? So this week, one of the things she's running into, she's not coming back to the notebook to check. So I'm using this form. I've used this form before. This one is by Mama Jen. .blogspot. Look, I'll put the... Can you see it? I hope you can see it without it bouncing around because she's moving. So I just filled it out. I kind of like it because it gives it an option for 2 spots. So like some days she has 2 lessons of things. And I did color code it. But I printed this out for her. And so she doesn't have to come to the book. I still wrote her stuff in the book. So then my brain's in one place. And then this is her responsibility to get done. So I did copy that for her. Make it a little better. Before I get into other things, let me share our scripture this week. I did make this sticker. Isn't this cool? And I'm going to tell you, I totally stole it off Pinterest. I took a bunch of Pinterest pictures. Just the pins. And I expanded them and printed them and then ran them through my Xyron. So my sticker is, gracious words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Proverbs 16:24. And then we're going through some faith training through Lifeway. So this week we got memory verses. So we're learning faith, F-A-I-T-H. F is for forgiveness. And then we're working through memorizing Romans 3:23. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Ephesians 1:7. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of our trespasses according to the riches of his grace. So this week we're going to work hard on memorizing F is for forgiveness, you know, and we all fall short and we need him. So we're working on that. But one of the things I want to show you. Oh yeah, and that's just something our church is doing. That's what it looks like. And it's through Lifeway. So if you're a Baptist, we're Baptists. We Bible believing. We Bible loving people. But we go to a Baptist church. So you with the Bible. We with you. Anyway. One of the things that works out really well is we use these a lot. We have them for shooting. But mostly they get used for... Oh, that's funny. This is what happens at 6:30 in the morning. She's like, whoa, I can't hear anything. Look at her. She's like, maybe she'll sleep more. She said no. Yeah. Give those back. So we use this a lot. The kids use it a lot. She goes, I think I like them. For doing their schoolwork. It helps them focus. The only problem I do run into that I get really frustrated with is they'll put them on and then they'll start singing because they can't hear anything. It's like, but we hear you, so shush. So we have that going on. We got 4-H tonight. Damn. Last week was like 4-H crazy because it was awesome. We had Citrus Club. We had Sign Language Club. And then, because 4-H week is coming up in 2 weeks, they went to the Board of County... Shh. 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 I know, you're really excited. Put one of these in. They had... They went to the Board of County Commissioners to talk about 4-H. So my kids got up there. And then, oh my goodness, Addie. You know crazy Addie who likes to get in the background. Little whitehead like... she gets up there. She's like, I'm going to talk. Now this... She's like a Clover because she's kindergarten, so she's not actually a 4-H member yet. And the 4-H agent was like, as long as you're representing 4-H, okay, you know, what are you going to say? She gets up there. The podium's too tall for her. She grabs the microphone. I mean, she owns it. Grabs that microphone, pulls it down, holds on. She's like, I'm Addie, and I'm a kindergartner, and this is my first year in 4-H, and I'm in this club, that club, and I have a tomato plant. And I was like, all of the commissioners are like bent over looking, you know, trying to get her. And to watch her, she stole the show. It was hilarious. Even seeing one of the commissioners later, and they're like, she stole the show. She was so cute. It's kind of funny because the town we live in, we know a lot of people pretty quickly. And I was kind of nervous. Orville, you know, the crazy 2-year-old, was going to go up there and decide to sit with the commissioners because he knew one of them. I was like, don't recognize that one, because that would have been crazy. But it was pretty fun. So we're having fun with 4-H. And I know I promised, there's so many things I promised. I'm like, I'm going to do. But remember, I got 6 kids and I got a crazy schedule. But I'll tell you a highlight of my week. My day yesterday. I'm feeling pretty good with the postpartum depression. I mean, I know it's going to come back because, I mean, I had a rotten day Wednesday. And then Thursday was an emotional, like, roller coaster. I woke up in an anxiety attack. But that was kind of emotionally induced, situationally induced, not just like hormone out of control. But yesterday, was the first day I was able to go to church. That I actually made it through the entire service. I stayed for Sunday school, which is funny because Sunday school is, I mean, it's a nursery. Which doesn't, you know, but it's okay because usually it's like just her, and it ends up being my husband and I's quality time, and we go through and we read scripture together. So it's kind of like our, like, carved out little time. But I did that. I didn't stay any longer than that because nap time started getting fussy for her. And then was able to go back last night and begin training class with a social. It was great. Absolutely great. It was like, you know, and I had a lot, they're like, I'm so happy to have you back. I'm like, well, I've been going through postpartum depression. They're like, oh. I'm like, I've told you guys. And it was funny doing the faith evangelism. They're like, why, you know, if somebody stops going, you need to reach out and find out what's going on. I'm like, and I was in a smaller group. We weren't in the big room with everybody. We were in a telecast in another room because I had, and it wasn't because that's where the moms went. It's just, you know, certain people are very comfortable in that. And the ladies cooking, it lets them be Martha and Mary, you know, so they're busy being Martha, getting the kitchen and the food ready for afterwards, but yet they can still be Mary because we telecast it in. And I was like, hello, me? Who checked on me? You know, I could have used a little love, but I didn't send any judgment or anything. I was just kind of like, sorry, I know she's loud. She's like, I gotta be loud. Anyway, so it was really cool. I got to visit with everybody. This is her all the time. She is like, I'll point her mouth in a different direction. And so, and it was funny, I talked to some of them, and I said, you know, if you would have told me last Sunday that this Sunday was the day I was coming back, I would have been like, really? I'm like, in fact, if you would have told me Saturday that Sunday, the following day I was ready to be back at church, I would have not believed you. And it was almost like God just woke me up Sunday and was like, get ready, let's go. I was like, okay, get ready, let's go. And so I'm like, yes, I was really excited to be back. I was really excited to have that. So I don't know, you know, and I told them, and they're like, well, maybe you're done. I go, I don't know. Hopefully. I'd be awesome if I was done having postpartum depression, because it kind of fades out. I mean, I've had in the past, you know, having prior experience with it, I know it fades out, as in it will just get more time between each episode, and then all of a sudden, you know, you just haven't had an episode. And so I told him, I said, well, maybe, but let's hope. But I don't know, but I know that I've been granted relief for Sunday. So that means Sunday I'll be here as long as I'm granted relief. And, which, you know, God's so powerful. He totally probably just be like, my hand of protection. Go to church. It's time to be back. And I'm like, I might have a complete meltdown Tuesday. But that's okay. You know, and that's one of the things. It's just living with it and picking and choosing your battles. Because some of it is an outburst of anger. And that you're not really angry, but you just kind of outburst like that. And I did have a moment where I was fighting something last night where I was like, you know, I was just like, Trish, get back to loving that person. You don't feel that way all the time. Just, you got to get over this. And by the end of the night, I was fine. So anyways, week 8. It was quiet. Wasn't it a beautiful quietness before I started the video? And then we have this one. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my coffee. And I know. I mean, it's like now 6:45. But pray for them poor kids that have to get up at 6:30 in the morning. I know my town's not the only one who does it. Those poor children. Mine will be coming through here too in about 30 minutes maybe if I'm lucky. Probably about 10. Alright, so we will talk to you later. I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace out. I'm done fighting this baby. Have fun.